Dear Dr. Sanjaya, should I have sex with an ex? 'Cause, well, COVID? What is up, sapiosexuals? Thank you for turning on Sex in South Beach with your girl, Dr. Sanjaya, America's favorite sexologist and your best girlfriend who loves to chat you up about sexual satisfaction. So the sex situation we're getting into today is all about how you might approach having sex with your ex during a pandemic. 'Cause, as we all know, COVID is still here, effing up all your opportunities to find someone new to do the do with, right? Well, maybe not all of them, but one thing that really has been popping off since COVID came on is what? Reaching out to an ex. Apparently, being locked down and forced to wear a mask in public makes everyone think about their past lovers. Seriously, so many people have told me that during all the coronavirus lockdowns, they reached out to an ex or an ex texted them out of the blue. Hell, even yours truly right here, right now, has received a few unexpected text messages this year. But what are the real chances of actually getting back with your ex and making it work the second time around? About 15%, according to a survey among 3,512 people who use the website X Back Permanently, a site that offers trainings and programs to teach people what? How to win their ex back forever and ever and ever. So this site conducted a survey asking users if they were successful in getting their ex back. And if so, were they still together or did they break up again? They surveyed, once again, 3,512 people. 80% of those people were from North America and 20% came from the rest of the world. And what they found out was just over 70% did not get back together with their ex. However, slightly more than 14% of users were successful in winning their ex back, but so sad. They broke up again by the time of the survey. And almost 15% of users got back with their ex, and woohoo, what? They were still together at the time of the survey. Now, this survey was conducted in 2019, so not during a pandemic. And while this work shows how incredibly common it is for people to want to get back with their ex after a fresh breakup, it does not show how much people are craving contact with their ex during the COVID-19 pandemic. Because ever since people have been dealing with this pandemic, thoughts about their ex have skyrocketed. For example, the internet search, "Why am I dreaming about my ex?" Well, that shot up by 2,450% last March. That's so funny to me because that was just right at the beginning of the lockdown. But even though it's not an ideal time to get intimate with a new person, especially not with that new strain of COVID, okay? Not a good time to get intimate with a new person. But should you really have sex with your ex? I mean, let's all remember, people don't break up for no reason. But then again, if you're thinking about getting busy with a boo from your past, that likely means they really know how to please you in bed. They know how you like to be touched, and they offer a familiar type of touch that, what? You just can't get that with someone new. There's also something so magical about being with someone who you already know so well. There's this easy comfort that comes from making love to someone who you have enjoyed making love to in the past. Yes, yes, yes. And this connection can be especially comforting in the midst of a pandemic. Oh, yes, baby, it can. So whether an ex has reached out to you or you are thinking about reaching out to an ex for a booty call or to create a friends with benefits type of situation or to seriously give your relationship another go, you know what? You know I have got some tips for how you might want to handle that situation in order to maintain your self-respect and honor yourself while doing the same to that ex who you may or may not start sleeping with again. Now, if your ex is doing the reaching out, rule number 1, remember, you have a choice of whether or not you want to engage. You are free not to respond to someone's text if you do not want them in your life. And you're even free to what? Block their number so their text can't ever disrupt you again. You are also free to respond back honestly. I do not want to connect with you again. There is no need for you to be mean or catty. Simply respond appropriately for you. Now, if your ex still excites you and you want to reconnect, you are also free to do so, boo. But please, don't rush it. Go slow and take your time figuring things out. After all, it is still a pandemic. And you know the one thing you have got? Time. But also remember, if you're the one reaching out to your ex, the exact same rules apply. They do not have to respond to you. They can tell you that they do not want you to contact them. All the same rules apply, boo. Just remember that if you're the one doing the reaching out. Now, rule number 2, you need to think about, how does this person make you feel? And how did they make you feel when you used to be together? Is this the one that got away? Or is this that toxic ex-lover who used to always make you feel bad? There's only one way to figure it out. When you think about contacting them, do you feel excited, giddy, a sense of fun? Or do you feel angry, sad, or resentful? Before responding to an ex or reaching out to an ex, you really need to be clear about what you want from the exchange. You cannot uncall someone or untext them, or take back that DM on social media. Nope, once you send it, it is done. So boo, you need to think before you send. Rule number 3, what do they want from you? For real, you gotta know how hot that pan is before jumping into it, baby. So after you figure out how you feel about reconnecting with an ex, you really need to find out, what do they want from you? Do they want to get back together? Are they looking for a booty call? Or are they looking for a phone buddy to send flirty texts to with no action attached, right? If they cannot be transparent about why they're contacting you, then you seriously need to think about whether this person is going to hurt you. They might not even intend to hurt you, but if you think you're getting back together, but they want sex with no strings attached, you're going to end up hurt. And since nobody is ever gonna love you like you do, you need to take care of yourself by evaluating their intentions. You should be able to sense whether this person genuinely cares about you or is simply entertaining themselves in your company without considering how their actions might make you feel. And if they really care about you, they will want you to be happy with or without them. Now, if you feel certain that their intentions are pure and they're aligned with what you also want from them, well, who knows now? Perhaps you guys will end up as one of the 15% of couples who got back together and stayed together. You never know, baby. Boom. But before we move on, let's remember, if you are the one reaching out, the same rules apply, okay? You need to make your intentions clear from the start. You have no idea how hearing from you makes them feel. It might bring up insecurities or make them ecstatic at the thought of connecting with you again. But before you send anything too hot and heavy, the most considerate thing you can do is ask, are you okay with me contacting you? Yep, you really should have their consent before you start sexting them, okay? You never know who is sitting next to them, and you don't know if they want to hear from you. So to make sure things don't get awkward and weird, simply ask, is it cool for you to contact them? And be okay with them saying no or not receiving a response at all. They may have moved on, and not responding is a very clear way of telling you that. 4, do not make any big decisions right away. Okay? The pandemic has altered our perspective in so many ways, more ways than we will ever know. And when humans are in crisis, it is completely normal to focus excessively on the positive aspects or the negative aspects of a situation, which is what most people are doing during the COVID-19 crisis, okay? So when the world is crumbling, it would be totally normal to overly focus on the happiness involved in a romantic reunion while not being able to see some red flags because our perception is skewed by pandemic life. Or it could be the other way around. You only see the negative or less than perfect parts of your ex because of this skewed vision that you have. The main point here is that your perspective will likely be much different now than it will be in your post-pandemic life. So don't make any rapid decisions about romance during the pandemic that you may not be able to uphold after the pandemic. And rule number 5, minimize the damage. Now is not the time to remind your ex of all the ways they hurt you or rehash negative feelings. It doesn't make anyone feel good when someone is being told how awful they are. And let's be real, this last year has been awful enough. Don't add any more fuel to an unhealthy flame. No, no, no. So if you see reconnecting was a bad idea, cut that reunion short, boo, and end things as kindly as possible. Something like, we're repeating the same old habits that drive each other nuts. I will always care about you, but if we keep seeing each other, I'm afraid we'll both end up hurt. As hard as it is to believe, this pandemic will end one day, and opportunities for meeting new people in real life will once again be on the table. Right now, though, it's totally hard to think rationally about reconnecting romantically with an ex and what that all means in our post-pandemic life. One way to clarify things might be to ask yourself, when you think about life after lockdown, is your ex a major part of that post-pandemic vision? All right, now it is time for the climax when I give y'all a little something to remember about today's show. Sex with an ex. 1, just because your ex reached out does not mean you have to respond. Booyah! And if you are the one reaching out, you cannot go psycho if your ex chooses not to respond. 2, how does your ex make you feel when you think about them? Happy, sad, excited, frustrated, joyful, depressed? Honey, you need to take some time to connect with your feelings and figure that out, because there is no point of trying to get back with a toxic person. But the one who got away? What? That just might be worth giving another shot, Moral of the story: think before you act. 3, clarify intentions. Both you and your ex need to be extremely clear with each other about what you expect from reconnecting. A good time? A friendly situation? Or are y'all trying to give it another go? Baby, that is definitely something that you need to know. And 4, do not make rash decisions. Take your time. After all, it's the pandemic which has given us so much time. Remember, the pandemic has completely twisted our perception. So now is not the time to be rushing into big relationship decisions. And 5, minimize the damage. Do not be mean to your ex. Boom. I'm just going to sit that one right there. By now, I hope you realize that your romantic needs pre, during, and post-pandemic might be totally different. Hopefully today's show has helped you clarify why reconnecting with an ex romantically may or may not be a good idea for you. For your daily dose of Nookie knowledge, check me out on all the social media networks. That's Dr. Sonjia, DrSonjia, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Come on, baby. We should definitely link up. Y'all, I had so much fun chatting you up today about having sex with your ex, and I can't wait to do it again next time. I'm Dr. Sonjia, America's sex educator. Thank you for tuning in to Sex in South Beach, where everyone comes for happier, healthier sex. Oh, you smell so good. I just want to touch you. You know what? I hear that compliment so many times a day because I wear Sense aromatherapy body oil every day. It hydrates my skin, and the best part, it makes me smell so good, and it stimulates a pleasing reaction in everybody who smells me. Smell good, feel good with Sense aromatherapy body oil. Get yours today at sensebodyoil.com. SENSE bodyoil.com.